Endocrine disruptors are getting a lot of attention from health advocates these days, and for good reason. As the name suggests, they hijack the endocrine system and disrupt hormones in ways that are immensely detrimental to our health. According to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, and I quote, endocrine disrupting chemicals are natural or human-made chemicals that may mimic, block or interfere with the body's hormones, which are part of the endocrine system. These chemicals are associated with a wide array of health issues. To give you some perspective, endocrine glands are distributed throughout the body and are responsible for producing hormones. After they are released into the circulatory system, these hormones act as signaling molecules and control many biological processes like natural growth, fertility and reproduction. Since hormones act in very small amounts, even minor disruptions in their levels can cause significant development and biological impact. Hey everyone, welcome to the Scientific Yogini. I am Priyanka Tiwari, and in this video we will be diving deep to unravel exactly how we encounter endocrine disrupting chemicals in our everyday lives. We typically encounter endocrine disruptors through diet, air, skin and water. Some forms of exposure include preservatives in food and beverages consumed, packaging, home furniture and appliances, exposure to pesticides, and from the application of certain cosmetic products. One of the most common forms of exposure to endocrine disruptors may be in the form of pesticides. Pesticides are extensively used in conventional agriculture to prevent weed growth, fungus, and pest infestation in non-organic crops. Some of these chemicals are also used to facilitate crop drying to speed up the harvesting process. Most pesticides are known to adversely impact the hormonal system. They are commonly associated with infertility, birth defects, nerve damage, and cancer, among other health detriments. To limit pesticide exposure, choose organic produce wherever possible. It typically contains less pesticide residue than conventionally grown produce. Another common form of exposure is in the form of phthalates. Phthalates can be found in plastics and fragrances. They impart flexibility to plastics and extend scent duration in fragrances. Phthalates are often linked to reproductive harm and respiratory problems besides liver and kidney damage. To reduce your exposure to phthalates, frequently dust and vacuum your surroundings. Vacuum cleaners with HEPA filters do a good job in eliminating microscopic chemical particles from your surroundings. Products made from vinyl, flexible vinyl and PVC-3 should be avoided as much as possible. Personal care and home cleaning products containing the generic ingredient fragrance, which is essentially a cocktail of dozens of harmful chemicals, contain phthalates and are best avoided. Next in the list are parabens. Parabens are preservatives found in many processed foods. They are also a key ingredient in most personal care products. Parabens are known to disrupt hormones. They adversely impact fertility and have been associated with birth defects. They are also believed to increase the risk of cancer. Carefully reading product labels and avoiding products that contain parabens such as propylparaben or butylparaben can reduce your exposure to parabens. Another endocrine disruptor is perchlorate. Perchlorate is a compound used in fireworks, vehicle airbags, matches, signal flares and rocket propellants. Since it builds up in the soil, it can easily contaminate food and water. Perchlorate is known to interfere with the thyroid gland and reduce thyroid function. While it is not easy to eliminate your exposure to perchlorate entirely, using a good quality reverse osmosis filtration system can help you avoid it in your drinking water. Heavy metals. Heavy metals such as mercury, lead, chromium, cadmium and arsenic can be found as additives or contaminants in a wide variety of cosmetics and personal care products. They are also released into the environment in the form of toxic industrial waste, from where they percolate into food and water. Some heavy metals also occur naturally in the environment. Exposure to heavy metals has been associated with impaired brain function, obesity, metabolic disruption, kidney damage, and birth defect. Strictly monitoring the consumption of foods that are known to contain heavy metals such as carnivorous fish, rice, apple juice, and packaged baby food is imperative. PFAS. PFAS is short for perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances. These chemicals are typically used to manufacture heat, grease, oil, water, and stain-resistant fluoropolymer coatings and products. PFAS exposure has been associated with birth defects, impaired fertility, reproductive harm, cancer, obesity, liver ailments, high cholesterol, and hormone suppression. They may also reduce the efficacy of vaccines. Avoiding treating clothing, bedding, and drapery with stain and water-resistant chemicals may help limit exposure to PFAS. Besides, eliminating non-stick cookware and objects with non-stick coating and replacing them with cast iron, glass, wood, stainless steel, and ceramic products is another way to minimize exposure. BPA. Bisphenol A or BPA is used to line some food cans from where it can easily percolate into food. It is also found in thermal paper on which receipts are printed, plastic baby bottles, pacifiers, and sippy cups from before 2011, and spot water bottles that were manufactured prior to 2012 are known to contain significant amounts of BPA. BPA and BPA alternatives have been linked to cancer, obesity, diabetes, DNA changes, brain and nervous system disorders, heart abnormalities, impaired cognitive function, and learning disabilities. The best way to limit BPA exposure is by preferring to consume fresh produce over canned foods. Keep the use of plastic wraps to a minimum. Avoid using plastic containers to heat food in the microwave. Instead, use glass to reheat or cook foods in the microwave. Store foods in stainless steel or glass containers. Shatterproof plastic and PC7 epoxy adhesive contain BPA and should be avoided. Declining purchase receipts and avoiding takeout at restaurants are also some ways to keep your BPA exposure to a minimum. Oxybenzone. Oxybenzone is an ultraviolet or UV filter and is found in sunscreens and personal care products containing sunscreen protection factor or SPF. Since oxybenzone and other UV filters can easily be absorbed into the body, they are likely to cause lasting damage. Oxybenzone is known to interfere with the endocrine system at a cellular level. Exposure to the chemical during pregnancy is associated with birth defects in newborns. Breast cancer and endometriosis risks are also higher for exposed individuals. Since sunscreens are a necessity and need to be used every day, it is important to ensure that their ingredient list is clean and does not contain harmful chemicals. Carefully reading sunscreen ingredients and preferring the use of sunscreens that contain zinc oxide and titanium dioxide as active ingredients and steering clear of those containing oxybenzone can reduce exposure. I hope you found this information helpful. As always, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay inspired.